This is the first time we've all been together at one time, and I'm really happy about it. So let's start things off. And
what do you want me to do?
just tell them who you are, what you do, and how come you're here, and have fun.
I'm Valerie, NV9L. Hi. I get to do the DXing and contesting portion on Ham Nation, which is what I truly love. So it's a labor of love, and I really enjoy all the emails I get from everybody and helping everybody, because I learned a lot the hard way. I didn't really have an Elmer, especially when it came to DXing and contesting, until I met Jerry. He helped me a lot. So thank you. Is that all you need?
Well, I'm George Thomas from Jackson, Mississippi, W5JDX. I'm here because this is Hamvention, like the rest of you. I'm a broadcast engineer, a jack of all trades. I do a lot of different things. I do the Amateur Logic and Ham College podcast as well. I've been at that for a little over 11 years now, so quite a good while. We've got a lot of episodes out there, and I do Smoke and Solder on Ham Nation. We build things. We talk about different projects, kits you might want to make, how a capacitor works, how a power supply works, what's the best tool for this particular job, how to solder, just all the basic things that you might want to know as a ham. And to my left here is Don Wilbanks. Who are you and why are you here?
People have been asking that question for decades. Hey everybody, Don, AE5DW. I live about 2.5 hours south of him, down more towards the coast in Mississippi, and work in New Orleans. I've been in broadcasting for 39 years, which proves that I am unfit to hold a real job. Was on the air as a disc jockey for many years, and now I'm production director for 8 radio stations in New Orleans, which means I make commercials. I write and produce commercials and try to keep the salespeople together to get me what they need on time, and keep the people that I assign these commercials to get them produced and on the air in time, which basically means that I move mountains, I part the sea, and I herd cats. And that's what I do. And as Simon, the man who talks funny from New Zealand, asked me to tell you that JTK and W5JCS, Jeff and Jim, he has T-shirts for you in the back of the forum for 2015. So if you're here, your T-shirts are back there. So there you go. See Simon in the back of the forum for T-shirts. All right, message delivered, Simon. I can't hear you, and you talk funny anyway. One more name on the list. Oh, I don't know. I just see 2. All right, your time's up, Simon. Go back to New Zealand. This is, thank you. This is Dale. What do you do, Dale?
Not much.
Good.
Okay.
That's why we make a good team.
I'm Dale. I do the video segment on Ham Nation, and we'll give you a little bit of pitch here. We could sure use your videos if you'd like to tell everybody in the Ham Nation audience what you do and some of the tricks you use, from the DIY standpoint or from the operating standpoint. We'd love to get them on. Just send them in there to Ham Nation Videos at twit.tv. My career, I've been about through 3 careers. My ham ticket, I first got in 1956. I've held the same call since then, so it's kind of fun. Career-wise, I was in broadcasting for quite a while, and then a career public affairs officer for the Coast Guard, and then a computer programmer. So it's been interesting, and we love Ham Nation, and we'd love to get your shack photos too. If you can send them in, we'll be sure and get them on the air for you. And next to me, it's Gordo.
Dale, I'm going to jump in before our star just arrived.
All right.
Yes. Tamitha, how are you?
I'm great. I just gave a talk in Carol Perry's Youth Forum, so I was right next door. And the hams, it was just a wonderful set of hams. The young ones are just more amazing than ever, and hopefully I excited them a little bit with what they can do with their future and the fact that ham radio is the future of Mars communication. When we colonize Mars, We're going to have to speak. There's no cell phones. There's no infrastructure over there, right? So what are we going to use to communicate? It's going to be ham radio.
Hey. Well, we're going to come back to you in just a minute. We're so happy to have her here. As I told you, we've never been together, and we really miss Amanda.
I want to start a chant right now. On three with me. Dr. T, Dr. T, Dr. T. We love you, Tamitha. We love you. We appreciate you being with us.
Okay, Gordo, have it.
I will warm up TSA inspectors for when you plan to go home tomorrow with all your stuff. Getting here in Orange County, they go, hold it, hold it. What is inside that bag? Oh, just, a couple lemons and some wires. Then they bring in the big, huge TSA inspector going, let me see this. You're not getting on board. Gordo, I took your class 8 years ago. So I will warm up TSA for you. Thank you, Ham Nation viewers, chat roomers. This is quite an act to follow. They are the best, so thank you all. And have a great time at Dayton, and watch out for the wires when you fly home tomorrow.
All right. All right. Well, before we come back to some of these, there's another person that's very valuable to all of us, and they're back there. Ted Randall and his family that do WTWW. Yay!
Very nice.
They take our program around the globe. How do we know that? Because of the emails from the Netherlands and South America and all over. Thank you for doing that. This is really cool. And if you haven't met that family, you want to do that. And if you ever have anything broken, they can fix it. No problem. No problem. I get asked a lot about how did you find these wonderful people? Because each one of them are just so special in all of what they do. And I have to tell you a little bit of the beginning. I'm going to take just a couple of minutes. I had been talking with Leo Laporte on the phone because he won a PR40 at a podcast convention back about 7 years ago. And he took it back home and fell in love. So he starts calling me. He bought 3 or 4. He now has 40 of them in his studios. He won't use anything else. And so we'd been talking. So he said, you got to come out here. So we did. Sarah and I flew out, and we were very lucky. We were there on the last couple of weeks of The Cottage. How many people remember The Cottage? And we did a show called Triangulation 8. If you've never seen that, make a note. Triangulation 8. That's where Ham Nation was born. And so he said, you've got to do a ham radio show on my network. Well, I guess we can. So before I left the parking lot, I figured we're going to do 1 or 2 shows. I called Joe Walsh. And I said, hey, because Joe is the guy that introduced me to listening to Leo, because he's on KFI out there on the weekends, and we were living out there then. I said, wow, this is cool. I called Joe. I said, hey, your buddy wants us to do a show. Well, I think we can do that. I said, no guitar. Oh, no, it's just Joe, just me. I said, that's right. And I figured we were going to have 1 show. Well, after the show, Leo called me. He said, you got to get this going, buddy, because we got a lot of people that want to hear more. So the second guy I called, of course, was Gordon West. And we got into this thing, just rolling for a couple of weeks. And then I was trying to do the smoke and solder thing. That's a little thing. Actually, we have that trademark. Nobody knows that. But I wanted to present something to build. I love to build, as you all know. But it's difficult to do it live. So here comes George, who's been doing it for 10 years and really well. And that's how George Thomas came to us. And what a wonderful thing, because he brings so much to the show. And we're so blessed to have each person. Then we start getting advertisers. Well, Even though I was at KMOX for 25 years in St. Louis each Wednesday night as High Tech Heil, doing kind of the same thing Leo does only decades ago before we had computers, I'm not good at reading scripts. I had lived too much. Here comes Don, and as you heard, he is the professional. He's got a crazy side, which we like too. Yeah, and we really aren't just dried up people behind a microphone, and that's how we got Don. Well, then we needed some other people to help us with the videos. That was a biggie, and there comes Dale. And everybody just kind of comes out of the woodwork at the right time. Gordo said one day, hey, we're going to do something about this DX thing because we don't know anything about it. So I'm watching the chat room, and I keep seeing Valerie's name pop up. So I write her an email, and boy, I couldn't have picked a better person. And she is the ultimate of what happens in DX and contesting. And then a wonderful thing happened. She meets up with Jerry, who, by the way, take that microphone, tell him what happened.
He just, last night, Jerry was inducted into the DX Hall of Fame.
Yay! Woo! What a great time. What a great time. This is wonderful. And then I was looking around one day on eHam. I watched that a lot. And I saw this article from a lady that said, I just got into ham radio, but I think I'm going to get out because I got kind of ridiculed on the air. I'm going, what? So I wrote her an email. I said, please call me, don't email me. And this little dear had been a new ham, got on the air, and some jerk, if you happen to be in the audience, I'd like to know who you are, because we got about 300 people that are going to work you over. He told her that women do not have a place in ham radio. And he said, I would advise you to kind of look for another hobby because it's going to be really tough for you. And during her crying and telling me this on the phone and my crying and getting more ticked off, I said, you have to come on the show, but don't talk about this. I just want to talk to you. Well, you know what happened. She was an instant sensation. We all loved her. And the chat room was perfect for her. And she's doing other things. We finally got her to doing some closings. And, yeah, she can do this. And that's how we found Amanda. And it's just wonderful. And then Don says, hey, I got somebody for you, and here we come.
I found her on YouTube. I was researching a story on solar weather for Amateur Radio Newsline, which I've been involved with since '95. And I see this wonderful doctor, Tamitha Scove, and she's able to take this, we're talking about the sun here, people, a star, and she is able to take what's going on there and how it's affecting us to where everyone can understand it. And I emailed her and I said, I want to use this for a story on Amateur Radio Newsline, but I want to get your permission first. And she emailed me back immediately and said, oh my God, yes, anything you need, anything. I said, okay, here's what I need. I want to take your video now and put that on Ham Nation. And now you are, I think, probably the most popular person that we have on.
No doubt. No doubt.
And she's working on getting her license. She was hoping to have her ticket by the time Dayton rolled around, but with her professional and family obligations, she just didn't have time. But you are working on getting your ticket, aren't you?
Yes, actually, Gordo is training me. Gordo's my personal trainer here.
There you go. Only the best.
And we actually have a soft date for the week of June 5th. I'll be taking my exam.
All right.
And if you missed her talk at the Antenna Forum yesterday or last year, because this is her second year, you need to go on YouTube and look at that. And it's a worthy hour of your time to spend.
Yes.
You will come back with an explanation, especially this year talking about the Mars generation. Oh my God, that was a light bulb moment for me yesterday. So thank you for that.
Well,
Very welcome.
She definitely brings us up a notch, and boy, do we need things to bring us up a notch. She's there. We're also very happy that we hear from so many of you via email. I'll get at sometimes 100 emails a day, and I know you get emails and all of your people, and it's amazing. And when we started this at Dayton, which would have been, what, 6 years ago maybe, I came here knowing that when I went home, the following Wednesday was going to be show 1. And I asked several of the organizations here if they would like to be with us. And they said, no, that's a non-issue. And I'm going, this is Leo Laporte's network. And at times there's 1.6 million people on his weekend networks, which he has us on occasionally. So when's the last time you got to 1.6 million that aren't hams? Well, they can't answer that. And that went on for years. So I was very sad because I couldn't get anybody to listen to us except all of us. Well, there's a new sheriff in town, and I want to tell you that at 11:30 we are leaving here. If you want to follow us, that would be really darn cool.
We would love that.
Yes.
We
We
would
have been
really love
invited
that.
by Tom Gallagher, the new president of the ARRL, who absolutely loves Ham Nation. He's going to hold a 300th show birthday party at their booth when we get there. Think about that.
I'm from New Orleans. We'll all second line over there together. It'll be great.
So we're going to get a little bit more going for what we're doing, and we're happy for Leo Laporte. We really help his network, and of course, without his network, it wouldn't happen. And we're so happy to have some people that pay the money. It's, you have to, especially at his level, you have some big expenses, and he has major promoters and advertisers, and we all shave with Harry's razors and so on. We're so blessed that they choose our program to be on. And that's really great. I have a few people say, oh, we don't like the ads. Well, if you don't like the ads, you won't have the show. Now, we can do like others and beg for it. I absolutely detest that. We cannot beg in ham radio. We want to make it happen, and it does. So we're very fortunate to have all of that going on. And I might add in this pine board thing. How many people know about the pine board thing? I did this just because I want more people to build. I didn't understand what was about to happen. I have over 1,000 emails from guys that are either building, getting ready, new hams that really want to get into it. So we're very, very happy about that it's bringing more people together. George has really done some nice things. If you haven't seen what George did the last couple of shows, explaining to you what a filter cap does, go look at it. It's amazing. And that's the kind of stuff that we want to bring to this whole party that we do every Wednesday. Sometimes we start at 8 o'clock. Sometimes we start at 8:15. Sometimes 8:30. But we get there.
Sometimes we go till 10.
That's right. Leo finally, they used to have a show after us, and Leo called me one day. He says, you guys run over a lot. And I said, I can't help it. We have all these great people and great things to say. I said, the chat room's going nuts. We're trying to answer all this. He said, okay, I'll make you guys the last. He said, I really hope we can hold it down to 30, but if you go 35, so Don and all of us, we might go to 45, but we try to keep it at 30. What the heck? What the heck?
There's one guy it keeps telling us every week, okay, we've got to stay on time. We've got to stay on time. And
who's the worst one?
you.
Me. That's the way it goes. You have anything else that you want to tell us about, Valerie, that's going on and how you put your stuff together?
Well, I did want to mention our 300th episode. We're going to have our special event stations going active this Wednesday. And we also have a Ham Nation 300 challenge, which you can do different tasks, upgrade your license, do a public service event, build one of the kits from the show, different things in the spirit of the show to try to get to 300 points. And when we get to the 3 highest point getters, we are going to bring them on the show. But if you go to any of our special event pages, Whiskey 1 Hotel, Whiskey 0 Hotel, Whiskey 9 Hotel, you'll see all the information on what special event stations are running and how to do the Ham Nation 300 challenge as well.
I have a question. Don't we have, what if there's a tie on the 300 challenge?
Oh,
How do we
that's
break
right.
the tie?
We want Dr. T to be bombarded with selfies all weekend. She is the tiebreaker.
It's
So you
working.
need-
It's
you
working.
need to get a picture with Dr. T. That will be the tiebreaker. So we're very looking forward to that. So hopefully we'll have a great event with the special event station as well as the Ham 300 challenge.
I'm going to have to figure out how to get you guys back.
Bring it.
They're ready.
George, you got anything happening that we need to know about coming up? You and Tommy got anything? You don't have any blow torches you're going to be using, are you? Anything?
No blow torches. We over at Amateur Logic do a lot of different things. It's similar to Ham Nation, but then again, completely different. We have one of our hosts is in Melbourne, Australia, Peter Parrott, VK3PB. Occasionally, we have a Canadian sneaks across the border to VE3MIC, Mike, who you see in the chat room a lot. He's with us, does a lot of Photoshops and different things. And sometimes people send us gifts from different parts of the world, and we get to experiment with exotic things like Vegemite. Simon brought with him some, favorite beverages of New Zealand. We had L&P, which is lemon and Paro, I believe is how you pronounce it. Tastes like Sprite. It was very good, and he gave us some candy also. Well, he gave it to my wife, but I snuck a few pieces for Tommy and me. We had white chocolate with lemon and Paro Pop Rocks in them. That was unusual. But we met him last night at the D-Star Forum. He was there, and he had another type of L&P beverage, lemon and Paro and chili. And
Chili lime, isn't that good?
yeah, well, it was strange. I mean, it tasted just like Sprite, and then, a minute or so later, your throat was burning. So I never had anything like that. But not to be outdone, Emil, one of our other co-hosts from New Orleans, sent up some New Orleans treats for us to try one time, and Mike in Canada sent down some maple syrup, and I can't remember, maple cookies. I can't remember what all he sent. But we're a ham radio show, so food, fits right in, especially when it's this weird variety. We couldn't eat the Vegemite, but it's good for keeping squirrels off your antenna lines. But coming up in the future, I guess we'll be celebrating our 12th episode here shortly. Our 12 years of episodes. So thank you. We were one of the first video podcasts in any genre to come out. When it came out, I watched a few videos, and this is really before the Twit Network had started. I saw some guys doing videos, and I called my friend Tommy and my other friend Jim. You remember my friend Jim, don't you? The guy with the torch. And I said, go check out some of these podcast videos here. It looks like something we could do. And they said, yeah, let's try it. So we did, and we are still trying it. So it's been a lot of fun.
That's great.
And I appreciate Bob and Gordo asking me to come on Ham Nation here and spread a little, whatever it is I spread, on Ham Nation too.
Well, we appreciate what you do, especially all the work you do on your own Amateur Logic. That takes a lot of time. I mean, just the editing and all that's just totally amazing. There's a couple of people that are kind of silent that mean a lot to the show. And first, I want to call Dan up here. Well, Dan, where'd you go? There you are. Oh, by the way, while he's coming up, I need somebody that's got a really good camera to come up here and take some pictures that you can email. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Kevin Trotman, he's one of our Newsline crew.
Okay.
He's the our web guy
now
here. So
that's not a brownie. No,
that's
yeah. Okay. Just take some pictures around. We really need them to put on the show. Dan, come over here so everybody can see you and tell us a little bit about what's going on. You're very important to the show, and yet you don't ever get to be on the show much.
No, I'm not on the show very much, but I'm at every episode. I do the wiki for Ham Nation, which is basically a directory that tells you exactly what's going to go on the show. It's a pretty nice thing to look at, especially when you're thinking, well, I know I saw that on X show or Y show, but I don't remember which one it is. You can actually search the wiki and find out what show that is in. And because it's in all chronological order, you don't necessarily have to watch the entire show. You can say, okay, that's about halfway through the show, and pick up the piece that you need.
Well, we appreciate all. That takes a lot of work. I just don't see how you do it. But how many people here know about the wiki? Tell us. I mean, if you don't, that's okay. And you use it and so on. That's great, because a lot of people
Fantastic.
They don't know what we're talking about. We need to promote that even more on the show. But I wanted you to come up and say hi so everybody can put a face.
I've been doing it since show number 3.
3. All right. All right. Well, thank you so. Yeah.
Yeah. I also do some of the Ham Nation videos as well. You'll hear my voice behind the microphone. I got a great face for radio, so I don't appear in front of the camera too often, but.
You do a lot, especially when the air show's on in Milwaukee. Those are always really good. Mm-hmm. But thank you for all you do for us. It's just really great. Thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
All right. Dan, be sure and check the wiki.
Dan is the guy who runs 1,500 watts mobile.
1,500 watts mobile. Yeah, right.
Yeah, QRP.
Yeah. QRP. And then we have the after show nets. And those are so much fun. And let's get you guys up here. How many are here? Steve is here. Kevin, come on up here. Put some faces with some big signals that they produce. And we have a lot of them, but not everybody's here. Kevin, how you doing? And thanks for coming. Tell a little bit about what you do and where you are. And you're a big part of this 300, too.
Oh, absolutely. Well, thanks, everybody. Appreciate you being here. I'm Kevin, KC7 FPF. I'm the one that runs the 40-meter net after the show. And I'm from Gainesville, Florida. So everybody that's out there usually hears me. So if I hear a station, I can work it. I always try and get everybody in as much as I can. But, of course, as everybody knows, propagation has been kind of terrible lately. So, but bear with us, Everybody wants to check in, so we do what we can. So,
all right.
Thanks so much, everybody.
We appreciate that.
Steve?
And Steve is my personal roadie. I'm really happy because usually I am the roadie, and I've never had a roadie, and I now have one. And guess what? He's the same size I am. That's kind of cool. Usually it's when I'm out on the road, it's all of these tall musicians.
Yeah, we're looking up like this. Holy smokes.
Thank you for all you do for the
you're
show.
welcome.
Tell them a little bit about where to find you.
Well, I'm Steve. I'm the 20-meter after show net, so usually you can find me on 14268 or up the band. So just look for me. I'm coming from the Pacific Northwest, so just during the wintertime, we take a break, and I'm usually helping Kevin out on 40 meters. But now that we have daylight savings here, come and join us after after the show. Usually I start early, try to get all you East Coast guys in before because by the time the show ends, it's late for you. So I appreciate everyone that stays up and joins me on the 20-meter net. Come out. We'll rag chew a little bit, and especially if you're brand new. How many here are brand new hams? Never really operate. If you're mic shy or you feel like you're kind of nervous getting on the air, come and join us on 20 meters, and we'll break you. We'll get you to be a pro in no time. So come and join us on the 300th special event starting next Wednesday, and we'll be going a week long from Wednesday to Wednesday. Valerie will be W9L, Dale W0H, W9H, geez. I'm W7H, W4H. Then we have our D-Star and digital guys. They'll be also participating. So if you're a technician, don't worry about it. Come and join us on the VHF, UHF side. We're here for everybody. Thank you very much for your support of Ham Nation and the After Show Nets. Yes. These guys talk about ham radio. We do ham radio.
And of course, we wanted to make sure that we're not excluding any of our different modes, and so we've got the digital guys in here. How are you doing? It's nice to see you. Tell them a little bit about where they find you.
I'm Jeff. My call sign is K8JTK. I'm one of the D-Star After Show Net controllers, along with Dave, KB9VZU. He's one of my co-net controllers. And for the Ham Nation 300, we have D-Star. We'll be on Reflector 14 Charlie. That's where we also have the After Show Net. As far as some of the other modes, there'll be Echolink, Star Dewdrop and Star, our node number 355800, and also DMR, Talk Group 311, otherwise known as TAC 311. And we have all that on our website, hamnationdstar.net, if you want to look that up, or a bunch of stuff linked to the show, like where you find the wiki, where you find the show, how you watch live, get in the chat room. All that's up on our site, again, hamnationdstar.net.
Well, we really thank you guys for keeping all that going also. And you do the Echolink, is it?
No, we're both these. Yeah,
oh, you're doing these? Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Dave Cantrell, KB9VZU, and Jeff and I have been together for about 4 years now doing the D-Star net on 14 Charlie. But one thing he didn't mention is how good he is with computers. If you guys haven't checked out hamnationdstar.net, you need to go check that out. It is a roadmap on what you need to look at for digital modes and things of that nature. Wonderful website, and we're looking forward for this 300th episode in the special event station.
Well, we thank you for all that you do. It's really great. Everybody puts a little bit into it, and we end up with this great thing that happens on Wednesday night. That's great. Thanks a lot. All right. Those are the things that just happen, and we have no roadmap for it. We have no roadmap for this show, but we do try to keep it within an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. That's very important. Let's see if we have some questions. I bet we do, and let's find it's not a volunteer that can run this wireless, because if you just stand up, nobody can hear you. So let's see, somebody want to grab this microphone and walk around? Here we go. Of course, it's going to be Dan. Howdy. Thank you. All right, any
questions? Who's got a question? Somebody's got a question.
I got a question for Valerie. Valerie, this is Karen, KC9WQJ. I'm president of the South Milwaukee Amateur Radio Club, which you were also a member of. And these two guys here need a picture with you in the middle.
Okay, I'll be down there in a minute.
Thank you.
Valerie, I heard you met your husband rather unusually. How did that happen?
Well, he literally bumped into me in the bar once at a DX convention, but I didn't notice him. And then we met on the air, CQ Worldwide Sideband. I was doing 10 meters only low power. He was 10 meters only high power, and we sort of hit it off. He was flirting with me on the air in the middle of a contest, so that's how we met. I think there was one way back.
I'm KD0WAT. I'm Wayne, and I'm representing my wife over here that runs a ladies' net, and she needs a picture with Bob.
Way in the back.
While he's running back in the back, My son Tyler is here. I think he's in the room. Tyler, are you in the room? He's dressed up as a pig. He was here earlier. You may see, if you see a guy running around in a pig suit, that's my son Tyler. He may be back there. I know he was here earlier. But he's supporting one of the Newsline staff, Neil Rapp, WB9 VPG, who also does a podcast. This is rather unique. It's called Ham Talk Live because it is done live without a net. So if you see him, check that out. So Tyler is running around here somewhere. He does not have his call yet, but he's working on it. So if you see the kid in the pig suit, that's Tyler. Yeah. Tell him, you're looking a little pale, so I need a couple more hours in the smoker.
Oh, he had the question.
Oh, that guy's trouble.
The guy in the Hawaiian shirt had the question. Oh, boy.
We got a couple of characters in the back of the room, but they're mic shy. They don't speak in a microphone.
Yeah, he looks sort of familiar. Yeah. For those of you that get on the chat room and you see me conversing
QRM.
I'm KE0AYJ, and I travel throughout the U.S. now. I'm retired military and retired law enforcement. But we had a couple of new hams back here, and I said if you're a new ham and you came to Hamvention and you attended this forum, I'd give you a shirt, ship it from Hawaii when I got back. So those new hams that raise your hand, make sure I get your call sign, and if you're in the ULS, you'll get a shirt.
All right.
All right, you get a shirt from me. Val, I've got something for you in the mail coming. It's going to take you to your QTH. The little guy next to you, he's already got his.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Don's got one coming. I think it's a moo-moo.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Dale, you've been hiding too long, but I'm going to cover you, buddy. Tamitha, you need something, girl.
Oh.
We're going to get you. Bob, you're covered. Not going to worry about you.
Let me tell you one thing. It's scary. That moo-moo you're going to send Don, he's going to wear it.
Yeah, that's exactly
The
what
Newsline
George told
people
me to do.
gave me a powder blue and white unicorn pair of, I don't know, I think it's pajamas. I don't know what the hell it is. But I'm wearing it Wednesday night. So watch. I ain't proud. I'm wearing it Wednesday night. And
Yeah,
if you
we're
come by
not
the
leaving
Ham Nation
Tommy
booth,
out either.
If you come by the Ham Nation booth, there's a cardboard cutout, almost life size of me in a kilt from Dayton a few years ago.
yes.
So
Have everybody
you can
seen
get
that?
a selfie with Don and Evil Twin Lon.
If you haven't seen it, you got to come. We're in Building 5. Well, it's a Hertz building, and at the end of the Heil booth, why you need to come and see that. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. So that's. Did you do that?
No, not quite, but I think maybe the sun was getting my brainwaves because I was thinking that, Don's talking about kilts and wearing moo-moos and unicorns. He's already got his son in a pig suit. I really worry about you, Don.
Well, a lot of people do. By the way, I'm looking at the live radar right now, and this is a very, very short, narrow line. It's going to go across. It should be out of here by the time we're getting ready to go across to building two. So
okay,
shouldn't be. You can't see this, I know, but it's a thin line, so it shouldn't be much.
That's great. One of the fun things that's happened every night is we just never know exactly what the proceedings are going to be, so it gets changed a lot. I make up the doc. George will make up the doc, and sometimes we'll stick to it, but a lot of times we don't, and that's what keeps it so fresh, I think. And we get a lot of emails from broadcasters that tell we'd like for our show to be like that. Well, they have some serious things usually. Even ours is serious, but it's all about having fun on ham radio, and that's what's so important. I forgot one thing that I want to tell you about is how I found Miss Valerie. She was in the chat room. I told you that. But when I talked to her on the phone, she told me she was shy and she didn't think she could do this. And she was. When she began, she was in her own home there in in northern Illinois, and it was really cute because I could tell that she was a little shaky. Every show, it got a little better and then a little better. And then one day she called me and says, you know what? I got a job at a radio station because of Ham Nation. Uh-huh. What happened to the shy? So I guess we've changed a few lives for the better. And now she's up climbing 200-foot towers and taking GoPro pictures for us or whatever. And we're just waiting for this big wedding to happen. And if anybody if you know Paul, W0AIH, he's amazing. He's like 83, 84 years old. He has 40, that's 40 towers on his property.
At least we haven't. No one's ever really counted them. They just go on and on. And on.
And so I think he's also a minister. So I think he's probably going to be the guy, right?
Tornado warning?
Wow.
Tornado warning right now?
Oh.
Oh.
Just follow me. I'll be first out.
Hey, Bob, we got a question over here.
Never mind.
But we're so happy that the things happen to each one of us. Gordo, what have you been out with the cloud? Where you been? What's happening?
Well, you know, ham radio operators always love band conditions. How many in the VHF and UHF? All right, well, tropospheric ducting is sort of our specialty. With Dr. T, it's everything around the sun. For us tropo folks, it's around the weather. But this is a little too much. So I always enjoy weather, and I'll always remember today. I hope I'll be here tomorrow. So anyway, thanks to all of you. You are so special about, see, we don't have thunder in California, but you are so special for, maybe I better sit down. I don't want to be the tallest. Thank you, Dr. T.
Hey, Gordo.
You're already enough of a lightning rod as it is.
Oh, there we go. But you are all so special to us, and we just continue every week to just, we never know what we're going to do. Don was going to try and have it scripted. Look at Don's looking. So, Don, what's our chance of getting hit?
No, I'm looking at this. This is a great weather app. It's called Radar Scope. It's $10 in the iStore, which is the best money you'll ever spend. I had a professional National Weather Service meteorologist recommend this to me, and I just looked at the relative velocity, which gives you, I think it's red for wind coming toward the radar site and green for wind going away, and so you can pinpoint where the exact circulation of anything is, and there's one little piece of some south of us, but there's nothing around us, so this looks good.
Okay.
Hey, Gordo, this when you get weather like this is the time that you duck the tropo.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have my California app, and it says, "Run!"
Surf's up, dude.
Thank you all again. You're making our day. 2:30, I've got a seminar on teaching ham class, so hopefully we'll all see you there.
Well, we're really getting keyed up for this 300. It's really fun, so we hope that everybody takes part and have all your friends take part. And if you need any information, just look up QRZ. They have special events. And Kevin, you have all that listed under that special event. Right. Got it. QRZ is an amazing page, and we're very happy that Fred Lloyd supports us. He's the man that owns QRZ. He's been on the show several times, and he does a lot of things. And if you just go in there and pick out a call, that's one thing. But man, there is a ton of things. One of them is special events. You go find the 300 show, and you'll see all of the calls and who's where, what, and so on. So that's kind of fun. Dale, did you have anything that you might want to add about the special event, because you had a lot to do with putting it together?
Not a lot. We've got to talk about the certificates. On the on-air event, there are actually 3 certificates. There's the basic certificate if you work 5 of the 9 one-by-one calls, plus one of the hosts like Gordo or Bob, any of those guys, then that'll give you 6. So you can work 6 of 9 one-by-ones or 5 and 1. And that'll come out real well. You get a basic certificate. If you work all 9, what will happen, you will get a clean sweep emblem on your certificate. And then we've got a special digital certificate. This one is nice because it's for all those of you who just got technician licenses. And with that, what happens is if you work 2 on any mode, any digital mode like D-Star, DMR, Fusion, what's that?
CW.
Well, CW even. Yeah. That would be counted, yes, 1 and 0. Right? So, very good. It's hard to believe that at one time I could copy 35 words a minute, but I don't think I can do that anymore.
Oh, yes.
But, and then the other thing I think is important about the event, I think, is the challenge that Valerie and Amanda came up with, where it really gets down to the heart and the spirit of ham radio. You know, upgrade your license. You get a whole bunch of points, I think 50, 60, 50 points maybe. Become a volunteer examiner and you get 50 points again.
Yeah, you can get some big points by doing some big stuff. And then we have little stuff like selfies.
You get a selfie, you get 2 or 3 points.
Liking us on Facebook and submitting a video or a chat room question.
Yeah, and if you post something on Facebook or on Twitter and you use the hashtag HamNation300, that just spreads the word, and we'd like to see HamNation300 trend on Twitter. That would be great. I guess that's it, Bob. If anybody needs any help with photography and they have questions about video or photography, I'd be happy to answer them if they email me also.
Well, right after we charge over to the ARRL, if that's going to be possible, how many have been to the booth? Have you seen the booth, been around? Please stop by. There's a lot of information there, and a lot of us are there. So it's in that building 5, which is the Hertz building. It's over. You have the 3 up here, but this one's right here. It's just a walk across the park. I'm sorry? Oh, I played it in the beginning. Yes, and I'll play it going out of here. And we play it every week, of course. Yeah, Joe he really did want to be here. And when a really interesting thing happens, each one of the Dayton Ham Conventions, we rent a room for him. And he's the kind of guy that the times that he's been here, he just wakes up in the morning and said, wait a minute, I got a few hours. Here he is. And so the problem with the situation now, he's out on tour opening, if you can think about this, opening for Tom Petty. So it's quite a show. It was quite a show. We were with him last week. We'll be with him next week. So he's an amazing guy. And the thing about Joe is he's just an average, ordinary guy. He really is. And he loves to be just Joe. So when he comes to these shows, don't tell him what your favorite is and all this. And I listen to you for years. Just talk about his Collins radios or his Hallicrafter radios. He loves radios, loves to work on them and so on. He's just an average, ordinary ham, actually, but good guy, good guy. But that's where Joe is this summer out on tour. So you go catch that tour, look up his tour dates. Well, we should start closing things down. Anybody have anything that we want to say?
I've been with Amateur Radio Newsline since I became a ham, which was in '95, and Bill Pasternak got me into this. And our Young Ham of the Year award is something that was very near and dear to Bill's heart, bringing youth into the hobby and recognizing the youth that are here that are doing some amazing things. And the nominating period for this year is almost over. It closes May 31st. So if you know of a young amateur under the age of 18 who you think is deserving of an award, who has done some amazing things with ham radio, go to the Newsline website. It's arnewsline.org, and click on the YHOTY tab at the top for Young Ham of the Year. And I saw 3 former young hams here this year, so they're out there, and each one is just more amazing than the one last year. So I'm blessed to be a part of all this thing.
How old do the How old do the young hams need to be?
18 or under. 18 or under. And something else on WTWW that you're not going to ring your own bell, so I'll do it. Bob has an organ show on Saturdays, I believe. So
right.
yeah,
every Saturday night from the Ozarks.
Good stuff.
We have a lot of fun with it. It's at 8 o'clock Central.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Then it's on 1 o'clock on 91 is 99. Yeah, 99.10. They have an incredible signal. If you have not done that, take your transceiver and run the receiver up to some of their shortwave things. It's great.
Yeah, 99.30.
Tuesday night.
99.30
Tuesday night, Don is on talking about ham radio.
Yeah, Ted allows me to come on and screw things up for a couple of hours on the second Tuesday, and we're having a lot of fun with that. So we get emails from all over the place. In fact, I've gotten a few Facebook or iPhone videos of people listening on like 40s vintage military aircraft receivers listening to Ted and I, and it's just amazing. So thank you, Ted, for the opportunity to come on and screw things up for a couple of hours every month.
Don,
second Tuesday.
Don, there was something about that I should tell you guys. I get this email a couple of weeks ago. This guy he's up at 35,000 feet in a commercial airliner. He's a ham, and he's listening to Ham Nation somewhere over the Pacific through WTWW.
Wow.
So that's the kind of things that happen when we're hams, and we're so fortunate to have them simulcast Ham Nation on the big one. There's other guys doing this on their little tinky-rinky shortwaves. This is the Masters, 200 kW. Simon's trying to approach that, but I don't know. He'll end up with 200 kW in his car. Well, listen, I really appreciate all of you. If anybody has anything to close, we're so glad you came. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm so glad to be here. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Gordo.
Woo!
Ron! See you on the special event.
I got one. Yeah, thank you all for your support of the show and for your support of Amateur Radio Newsline and for all the other projects that we're all involved in. And we certainly appreciate you. And we'll have Joe Walsh play us out after we're all done with our comments here. So thank you all. George?
Keep watching, and we'll keep making them.
Thank you again, and don't forget to attack Tabitha Scove for Southeast.
Yes.
Right now.
Thank you all.
See you at the booth.
See you at the antimalarial booth, 200.